Hey, this just arrived from Takealot. It's an online store here in South Africa. So the thing of it is that I've just changed over to Fuji. If you don't know that, where have you been? Which means that since I've changed over, I had a whole lot of camera gear from the past. I had decided that I wasn't going to buy any Fuji proprietary gear other than the cameras and the lenses themselves, as in i.e. like a flash. But I found that I did kind of need a flash. The Fuji sort of flagship proprietary flash is $449. It is a rip-off. So I managed to stumble onto this. This is a little Nissin i40. Now it is a tiny little flash, but it will be okay for little bits and pieces, which was what I want. TTL if I needed it, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I bought this little guy. Checked out a whole bunch of reviews and they were amazing. So there it is. And look at the size of this box, it's teeny. Well, the first thing that is there is a manual. We don't need that. Oh, in case we go climbing with a flash. Okay, I can't believe how small this is. Oh, look at that, it's so cute. Oh wow, this is a very, very cool case. I would never put in fact, I don't like having anything on my belt, but given that this is just going to be a little filler flash here and there where I need it, it might just end up on my belt. We'll see. Having an idea and actually going through with it generally has two different outcomes. Very often when you go through with it, it does not work out. In fact, it could be quite irritating being on the belt. Anyway, so let's have a look at the inside. Cool. This is a very cool little case. Oh my word, look at this thing. It is tiny. Wow. That is really, really small. So I did a little bit of research on this flash. So first of all, although it's small, it is not the best looking flash in the world. But again, that's what I need. Light. Good light output, good enough. Not caring about the looks. It's got to be relatively good build, which it does feel like it is. What else? Oh, it's got an LED light, that you could use for video. That could be quite handy, and I'll probably end up using that way more as a torch than actually for video. But anyway, so first thing that I'm noticing is this dial at the back here. I'd seen somebody complain about it, saying it moves very easily. Correct, it does. Bumping this thing will really be easy to do when you're busy working. I'm not too worried about it though. Again, as I say, this is just a little fill-in flash that goes with all the pro gear. Love the size of it. One of the things that the guys had mentioned is that you can do this. So it literally does a 180-degree turn, and I'm going, well, I need to bounce off the wall over there. There we go. If I want to go bounce off the wall over there, there we go. And up we go. If I want to bounce back behind me, there we go. So very cool, very cool. So very impressed with it. It's going to be handy when it's indoors in the right sort of conditions, and nice and light on the camera, which is also always good. I can't get over the size of the thing. Look at that, that's minute. Anyway, next is going to be testing it and using it, but so far pretty stoked with it. Good. That almost looks like 4 pen lights wouldn't actually fit in there. How do we open it? Let's see. If at first you don't succeed, use force. Got a little arrow thing. Let's follow the arrows. There we go. Space for 4 batteries. Surprisingly so. Interesting sort of mechanism. Does a little bit of a... that's a weird mechanism. Oh wow. So it's got this funny little... That's weird. Look at that. That's quite a weird little mechanism. Okay, so basically I guess you just push it, put the batteries in, push them down, and then clip it back in. So it feels a little bit easy to open at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that once the batteries are in there, it should actually close pretty sturdily. As opposed to, I remember one of the 580 Canon flashes, that thing was terrible, and flipping looked at it and the battery door opened. It's got built-in wireless, but I don't know that I'll ever use it, because then I'll need another Nissin wireless connector. I use Godox as my wireless flashes, and they wouldn't of course talk to this, so I'm not too worried about this. This is going to be primarily used as an on-camera, sort of 99% of the time, bounce type flash. So there we go, but loving the size of it. That really is, it's tiny. In fact, that's a sexy little flash for a mirrorless camera, because a mirrorless camera's entire point is the size of it. Having this big ass flash isn't a great idea. And I mean, I think that 99% of the time this is going to give you more than you need. Most of the time your subjects are going to be quite close on you. Another thing that I want to do with this is that when I'm shooting outdoors in harsh light, you heard it from me first, folks, direct on camera flashlight isn't the devil when it comes to full sun usage, and just getting a little bit of full to kill that harshness from the light is better than having the harshness from the light. And it's not like when you're working you're going to be able to actually flip and set up lights and go, wait bride, don't walk, you stop right there, I'm going to set up a light, I'm going to hold this and then put it in my pocket while you walk up to your fiance who's now about to be your husband. We don't have time for that crap, the stuff I was going to do with this.